morning to all gracious ladies present here. Thank you for joining in today morning. Former principals of my college, our college, the present principal, the faculty, and the office bearers of Alumni Association, the quiet, hard-working Manita Race, the president, the director. So you all are great by bringing all alumni together and starting with interaction session division. Most important of all, today are the students who are here. I'm here for you. And I'm also here that because it makes me feel young standing in front of you. A lot of nostalgia I can see on your faces. Possibilities. Immense possibilities to do anything in this world, change this world. Ever. My introduction was given with regard to what I am in the outer world. And that introduction is Mitti Kathan Masti Kavan Jivan Eksha Mega Parichi. These are the lines taken by Herbal Strategy. Each one of you can give this introduction. Two parts of this are very relevant and true always. मिट्टी का तन जीवन एक्स्ट्रा और उन दोनों के बीच में है मस्ती का मन. ये जो मस्ती का मन है ना, we are losing this in our lives. What has happened is that life is actually making you move very fast. मस्ती के मन के लिए समय ही नहीं. हमारे मित्र यहाँ पे हैं रामदेव पर. I brought in handed myself a book and a steel bowl. Now why I brought it? I brought deliberately the book here because you know the pull of the book is different. The book begins. You go to the book, once you open a page, start reading, and you read it somewhere. And when you take the book with you go there, you try to read it in the story. The book I'm reading right now is Lotty absolute praise. Vedic literature, Shruti and Smriti. And that way, this journey of books started on papyrus. When the Romans came, and Romans created the codex. Codex was like a paper. You could ship the paper from. That was actually the first modern book. Here the benefit was that the book could be numbered, indexed, and one could carry it easily. So a lot of books were made in this time. And then let's jump to 1450 or so, the printing press came. Johannes Gutenberg in Germany brought the printing press. The printing press actually democratized knowledge. It spread like wildfire because of the printing press, you could replicate a book. Replicated books can be distributed amongst books. The man who made this printing press, Johannes Gutenberg, he wanted metal, a particular type of alloy. So he melted all the bells of the churches and made that alloy for printing. And the man who was financing him got angry with him and took away the finances. This guy died in penury, but he gave printing press to the world. The true miracle comes through books. Why? Because you are one-to-one with the author's mind. Author is speaking to you. He's your friend. And you are not in need with the conversation. You live one life, your own life. But when you read a book, you step outside the life, in another person's world. Sit with a cup of tea or coffee quietly. Keep the gadgets apart. Look at a book. Think of the author. Feel that with your sip of coffee, he is also having a coffee. And start reading a book. The book then will start speaking back. And sometimes there is a lot of unspoken in the book, which hangs in the air and it sets the story. If anyone short story, Panch Parmeshwar. It begins with the first line. Algu Chaudhary or Jumman Sheikh mein bahut gaadi dosti. And then this sentence sets the tone. And then it goes into the panchayat that Jumman Sheikhs or somebody is to have a buffalo or cow or something has died and there is something happened. And the friend is the punch. But he gives a judgment against this friend. His judgment against the friend was juxtaposed with the first line of the book, Ki Unme Gaadi Dosti, where it comes to being, just in life, correct in life, you even go above friendship. That's what was friends, but they were both haters too. They used to hate everything under the sun. Anyone's success, anyone's face, anything. In 3 lines, they are able to set the whole, character, the frame on which you have to speak. Books are such. And I was a year back in Cambridge, year and a half back in Cambridge. Cambridge has got a bookstore, which is very old, 15th century, but the Cambridge bookstore. And wherever there are books, the faculty wants to go and see. And that was pulling me, so I went into the store. First thing I thought, books have been sold and bought in this place for centuries. And the first books there would have been on parchment, leather bound, and such things. And now they are in physical form. There were audiobooks also. And a particular book attracted me. And that book was about art of being alone. How being alone without anything is really a very transformative experience. So books happen in life. This also is a wonder if you love books. And then, friends, we can spend a lifetime knowing a lot about others, but knowing not much about our own selves. To know your own self is a journey in itself, and books teach you to know your own self. For each one of us, there is, one true dialogue, as they talked about my podcast title. That's the dialogue within. What you speak to yourself. That is the most important dialogue in your life. Keep that dialogue positive also, all the time. And everyone, through that dialogue with himself, has his or her own philosophy of life and living. Everyone has. They might not express it, they might not know it. They have. And books help you formulate a philosophy of life. My friend Deepak is sitting here. Once I was talking to him. He's a avid reader himself. Like Sanjay is a wordsmith, Manindra is a reader. I asked him which is your favorite book or few of your favorite books. So he told me Herman Hesse's Siddhartha. I said, why is it your favorite book? He says, what he says is, I can think, I can wait, I can fast. No, here it is Herman Hesse's Siddhartha, a book, 100-odd pages book. Here is a man, my age. For him, these 3 sentences, I can think, I can wait, I can fast. So, how a book has weaved into his life as a philosopher. I can think, a rational mind. I can wait, a patient mind. I can fast. I can do without certain things. Friends, you have to do without certain things in life. There was once, a violinist. He came onto the stage to give a performance. As he was tuning and going to stop, one of the strings broke. And most of the hall went quiet. You know what will happen. This man started to play with the string broken and played the best music of his life. Later, everyone asked him, how could you play such a good music with one string missing? He said it was nearer to life. That's why I could play. It had one less string. In life, you have to make the best with a few restraints. So, friends, I'm talking about books and making a case for reading. Books also make you the type of human being. Slowly and steadily, they shape your soul, they shape your tongue, they shape your speech, they shape your mannerism, they shape your expression. You read any, whether it is fiction. Some people say one should read fiction or not, or should one read only non-fiction. The fact is, every book teaches. Fiction teaches you about life, about people, about mannerism, how in situations people navigate them. Non-fiction teaches you about knowledge. It teaches you about creativity. So, patience is one part which comes with the book because it is a slow form. It comes to you like a slow waltz in a dance. That's what the books do. And for knowledge, they are very important. You know, Jahangir, Akbar's son, his name was Salim. So when he was to ask his father, Akbar was, what book should I read so that I understand human society and the world? Akbar said, read Mahabharata. Interestingly, Mahabharata is the only epic in the world which has more than 1,200 characters. And still it's a cogent whole. If you read Mahabharata by Ramesh Menon, very readable, you will really enjoy reading it. So like books have shifted from clay, stone, to papyrus scrolls, to codex, to this digital form. There is another, analogy, a parallel analogy. That is of money. Money also is becoming ephemeral. You had the barter system, you had the coins, then you had the paper currency, and then you had the card, and now you have UPI. You never touch money and you have notes. You never touch a book and you read it or scroll. So things are becoming ephemeral. We have to catch them. Catch them in a way that they stay with us, the ideas and the books. Again, I give a caveat, I have got nothing against the screens, but they do take you away very fast. We all have a phone, right? All of us have. We say, I own a phone. And if I say you never own a phone, would you agree with me? Most of you will think, say, no, I don't own a phone. Actually, the SIM inside the phone owns you. Phone is nothing. The SIM inside knows your identity, knows your transactions, knows each and every click which you have done on your screen. SIM is your phone. And why I say this is that all the SIMs can be remotely controlled. Each SIM, if you read about, there is a government is right now thinking about a law with regard to personal loans which are given. Personal loans of small amounts in which the person who gives the loan has a control over the loan act. And he can, through that, he also has a control over your phone. When you default, they from background start playing with your phone and you panic and you come back and pay. This is, or for that matter, Samsung tablet 5 Pro. By remote control, Samsung was able to destroy all the tablets in 2016 or so in USA. So, if we think we own the phone, own the SIM, we are mistaken. The SIM owns us. That is, if you hear a podcast by Lex Friedman, his latest podcast is with Telegram owner, Pavel Durov. He never uses a phone. A Telegram owner doesn't use a phone. He says, it's no point using it. It doesn't contribute anything. It only takes away my time. I'm not making the case that you should not use it. Screens are magic. They integrate you. The eyes, the ears, the sound, all your senses, they are tracked. But the real question is what is going on? What is fueling the internet? So if you see Google has unrivaled algorithms in the world which they protect. You take Facebook. All of these social media platforms are done with a great psychological study. Facebook behind it has human desire for relationships. Then you have Twitter. Twitter is, an effort to make your words into bullets. How to do it? Shorten the sentence in character. If you shorten the sentence in character, your message will be sharper and more misunderstood. It will be more cantankerous, more argumentative. Then you have the TikTok. Friends, we all have got a bit of Bollywood within us. Like when I was a school boy, I used to be a fan of Rajesh Khanna. And I'd go to the hairdresser and say, Mere baal Rajesh Khanna ki tarah kaat kar. And the hairdresser told my father, and I got a big charge from my father for that. So, TikTok is for the Bollywood within you. You want your 2 minutes under the sun to be an icon, Bollywood icon. It is with that premise. WhatsApp is gossip. It's gossip. And what is gossip? Gossip is full of poison. It's about speaking about people who cannot defend themselves behind the scene. Then Insta. If you see Insta, how did it come out? The owner of Insta was vacationing in a beach with his girlfriend. He took his photograph, this girl's photograph. She didn't like it, she threw it away. So he put some filters and then showed the photograph. And she loved it. No, a filtered photograph was a job done on a natural photograph. This is the basic thing that doctored images, improved images are put on Insta by all of us. And if you see Insta, whole of the world is having just good times. No bad times. We are just having good coffee, having a party all the time. We are at the beach vacationing or flying from one airport to another. Even in college, if we are there, we are dancing and playing. Well, it's actually Insta is based on lies and false. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't allow his children to use phone by the way. So all these platforms which are there, they are business models. They are there to sell you something, to make you speak something, make you do or not to do something. And this drama goes on because it impacts our emotion, keeps us taking away from ourselves. So behind these screens, all these clicks which we do, all these, how much attention we give to what is analyzed and then feeds us into you. And these feeds which are sent to you are basically make you take decisions. They nudge you to take decisions. It's not your decision. It's a decision which has been thrown on. Also, narratives are patterned with social media. You would have seen every WhatsApp group, there is a fight for ideology, fight for certain narratives. And अच्छे दोस्त जो है ना दुश्मन हो जाते हैं इतनी छोटी सी चीज है व्हाट्सएप की मैसेज जरा सी बंजिश पे तोड़ देते हैं सब ताल्लुक जमाने वाले ये ऐसे वैसे हिंदू ताल्लुक बना के रखना कमाल है. If you are in the world of books, ये कमाल होता रहता. A world of screen will make you cantankerous for sure. So, when we are talking of this social media and the narratives behind the screen, we are actually talking of only 4% of internet which is open. 96% is not. And in the darknet, drugs are sold, running is done. So much happens in the darknet. Also, interestingly, if you observe, the biggest companies now are data companies. They are not product companies. They are the ones who are the best companies making the biggest profit in this. So Google जो आपको आईना नहीं दिखाता, वो वही दिखाता है जो उसे दिखा रहा है. Facebook, WhatsApp, ये सब psychological traps. Use it for communication. But ये जो सोशल मीडिया की दुनिया है, वह की दुनिया की तरह आपको खींचते लिए चली जा रही है. आप घोड़े पे बैठे हुए हैं, आपके हाथ में लगाम भी नहीं है, आपका पाँव रकाब भी नहीं है, बस चलते चले जा रहे हैं. This is what social media is about. So, कुछ सोचने का समय नहीं देता सोशल मीडिया. और what is the impact of these flickering screens, of the scrolling which we do? Based on kind of a very small thing, so that's okay, doesn't matter. First impact is on relationships, which have become, a person's absence becomes a presence. This person is present on WhatsApp. He's actually absent. His absence becomes a presence in your life. And a study was done recently. It said that a normal human being, a good human being, a socially active human being, at least had 5 good friends. And the younger generation now, I'm talking of biological things, not a virtual thing. The younger generation has 1 or none in real sense of things. That is what is happening. It attacks, the 4 basic pillars of life. It attacks your health, it attacks your finances, it attacks your family, it attacks your friendships. This is what social media does. So relationships are becoming very fragile. Second thing which we are losing is the art of conversation. People don't converse, people don't phone call. What to talk of one-to-one conversation? That art of conversation is very important, young friends. If any one skill which will take you through life, if I have to say one, I would say develop the art of communication. And there's one very simple rule for it. Listen in such a way that others want to speak. Speak in such a way that others want to listen. Just a simple rule. And art of conversation is dying in this world of social media. No, वाणी भी जो है ना सोशल मीडिया में काफी कर्कश होती है. Intentions, harsh. And what is happening is you are losing empathy. Empathy. Humility is a casualty. पुराने समय के लोग कहते थे ना कि नेकी कर दरिया में थे. अभी ये नेकी कर सोशल मीडिया पे डाल. Anything you do is put on social media. हमारी तहजीब कुछ और. हमारी तहजीब जो थी किसी की रह से खुदा की खातिर हटा के काटे उठा के पत्थर फिर उसके आगे निगाह अपनी झुका के रखना कमाल. That was our tahzeeb. It has become very contemptuous, very harsh because of the social media. Then conversations, relationships, lack of empathy. There is a dependence on social media, which is increasing more. अरे जिंदगी में सबसे बड़ा मिरेकल है to stand on your own 2 feet. That is the biggest miracle in this life. और किसी के चक्कर में नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. वो राहत इंदौरी बोल रहे था. तूफानों से आंख मिलाओ, सैलाबों पे वार करो, मल्लाहों का चक्कर छोड़ो, तैर के दरिया पार. So ये जो बदला है ना, चैट जीपीटी है, जेमिनी है, these are the ballas these days. उनका चक्कर छोड़ो, go into the curiosity world of books. तो ये जब जो दो चीज मैंने बोल दी about the screens as well as the book, तो हम लोग को करना क्या है? जो टेक्नोलॉजी तो चलती रहेगी, स्क्रीन जाने वाली नहीं, वो हमारी दुनिया में रहेगी. They are here to stay. पहला एक सवाल इंसान को करना चाहिए, if you are reading something or watching something, ask yourself why you are reading. That is the first question. Why you are reading the book, or why you are reading something on a screen or anything whatsoever. When you ask the first question, why, you will know, be able to immediately divide what you need to read and what you need to see. That is the first one, intervention which you can try. If you are reading something for information which comes from screen, it's very good. You should go about it. It is a pathway to knowledge. That's what some people say in speech. Information, very good. Go to the screen. It is fast, slow. Books will be slow. But you should know why that. Besides this, there needs to be a harmony and balance in the whole situation. How to get harmony and balance? Divide information and knowledge. Knowledge is a slow learning process. Because information is just you know something. Knowledge is what it really means. And wisdom is what to do with it. So, when you do a slow reading process, when you gain knowledge, you are able to react to it and become a wiser person. It is said if you want to be wise, do everything slowly, and you will be a wiser human being. Besides this, friends, mind is a muscle. And you cannot keep exercising a muscle whole day long. If you are a runner, you can't be running for all your waking hours. If you're doing gym, you can't be doing gymming for all the time you're awake. But in the screens, what has happened, the muscle called mind is activated so long as you are awake. Press that muscle. That muscle needs to recuperate too. Don't take mind. Mind is a muscle, it belongs to you. It is not you. Mind belongs to you. Treat it as a muscle. And sometimes it needs to quietness to recuperate you. How to do that? There's a concept of fast in Indian system. The fast is, you go above the food. It sort of rejuvenates you. How about the digital fast? To fast. Or if you cannot have, because there is a necessity, you can have a slot in a day, some time, to be away from digital. There's something called the circadian rhythm in our body, which is like for 24 hours, our body goes through a rhythm, which is the light and darkness. It depends on that. And the best part is when you get up and early morning, your mind is very alert. If you organize the first part of the day, say maybe just 2 to 3 hours in the morning, there will be a huge qualitative change. Get up, do something physical without your phone in hand. Have your good breakfast and without your phone, read something for 30 minutes. And then start your phone. So, 2 hours you've been on a digital path and see how to change your productivity. So, these are the ways to start a day in a calm manner. And last, what I would like to say is that a lot of people depend on motivation. Motivational lectures, self-help books, and such. Believe me, friends, the best way is not motivation. The best path in life is discipline, self-discipline. if you can have this morning win every day for 2 to 3 hours, believe me, it will go all the way in your life and make you a winner for this. Thank you so much.